What have you asked from this group this
Oh,
week?
look, it's a series decider, isn't it? It's there's massive degree of excitement about the team for this week. It's tough weeks after a loss, and like always, we're trying to be pretty demanding and ruthless in how we assess the game. And that was an easy one to spend time on because there's so many variables, with cards and short numbers and all that sort of stuff. But we've just got to keep believing in what we're doing. The first test showed that we're 15 on 15. We've got some good answers at the moment, and we've just got to get better at it.
How nice to be able to bring Sam Whitelock back in this week, and what does he add, bringing a guy like him back into the pack?
Oh, plenty of experience, and and good form. I thought his first test was one of the best tests I've seen him play for a couple of years, and he's really motivated. But it's not just him. I think bringing Nepo back from a neck that's been bothering him. The likes of a David Havili coming back in, and Will Jordan having another week after COVID just to freshen up. So there's some good experience coming back into this group, and you got Colsey on the bench and the likes of Akira whose foot's coming right. So there's some nice signs there.
Was it a fairly obvious or easy team to pick, if I can use that word?
Yeah, look, it's never obvious and easy. There's always some conversations around a couple of things, and but it's a team. We've had a plan going into the series of a few things, and it's probably enabled us to go back to that plan.
Would you go back to the plan to make changes for this third test, or at one, or do those plans?
No. But there was a selection plan going into this about some things we wanted to get out of it, and there was a few players in those first two tests that perhaps weren't available at the time we would have wanted. So I think this time it's a chance to, I think it's the likes of bringing like Davey back in. We're delighted he's in a great shape. Sammy Whitelock, the chance to give Scott another chance at 6. So that's some of the things we're talking about.
How do you handle this week?
It's getting the balance of the toughness of losing, but taking the lessons out of that and moving on really quickly into the next stuff. And there's this is where you want to be in terms of the excitement. We don't want to lose a test, but we have, but to come in and have a big game in front of us like this just means that the eyes go really quickly from looking back to looking forward. And we've had some big days, but that's the way it should be. But the work being done has been fantastic.
How do you handle more so the pressure of being head coach in a week like this?
Well, I'm probably going to give you the same answer. Individually you go through the same emotion. Like when we don't win, there's a lot of internal reflection and what we're doing, and then you get into gear and start really nailing the next week. So that's where I'm at. I can't wait, to play Ireland and Wellington. I think we're learning that this is I don't think we're learning, but I think everyone else is learning that this is a high quality team we're playing against. It's a great examination for us, and so we've got to show that we're smart and we're learning as well.
What about all the external talk? Is that water off a coach's back?
Oh, you certainly get used to it.
How important is it for the team to win and win well this week?
It's a series decider. So we love these occasions, and there's an edge about it. So this is where all the work that we've been putting in, and again, this is early in the season for us, but it's a really early litmus test about how we've grown over the last few weeks. And again, it's been a week of there's kind of been no normal week, has there, the last few weeks? But we're at a point now that both teams have got a big prize at the end of it, and look, that's why you play this game.
What's Roger Tuivasa-Sheck shown you since he's been in camp that makes you believe he's the right man to come off the bench in this series side?
Yeah, look, he just trained so well, and I just, it's actually a reward for his effort off the park, and like he's settled in well. He's a learner. When we've put him in there, he's fitted really, really well. It will be it's a big occasion for him, like it always is for a first tester. But really confident that he's done his prep, and I guess we've made him wait a little bit, but quite excited about it.
What do you ask of him on Saturday night?
Oh, look, just to do the job in front of him that he's been doing. It's about not trying to. He's an experienced player. He knows about the big stages, and he knows you just don't go in there and try and overplay your hand. So we just want him to do the job that this team needs him to do.
How much has he helped others around him, given he has had some big games already in his career?
Yeah, I think so, but he doesn't. He's not chasing that. He's about preparing himself and I guess learning a little bit about this team and where he fits and how he can contribute. So he hasn't held back, but he also hasn't. He's in many ways he's a very new All Black, and he'll want to go and prove himself that he should be here. So I just love his calmness, but his confidence as well.
What's Dan Cole's done recently to return to the 23?
Very similar to what I just said about Roger, in all honesty. Look, he's chomping at the bit. He's a competitive beast, and got a lot of faith in him. Well, I've got a lot of faith in the three hookers we've got. We just felt that set piece has been going really well, and Cody's in a really good spot there. But really believe that this is a game that we wanted to play all three hookers in this series, and this is that sort of competitive game that we think Colesey's up for.
Ben, you mentioned things went well at Eden Park and maybe not in Dunedin. What do you want to see from the team from a game sense? Is it as simple as putting the onus on the forward pack and putting Ireland under pressure defensively? What things do you want to see different?
Yeah, look, I think when you play with 14 men, you can end up getting a little bit looser than perhaps what you need to, and I think we're trying to chase and break down a really good Irish defence with one man down. We're trying to defend their attack with one man down, and sometimes you're trying to cover two jobs instead of just do one job really well, and that's the reality of playing rugby with the amount of cards being shown at the moment. So we've just got to take our lessons from that, but now we've just got to get back and say, well, she's 15 on 15, and we just need to do the job we need to do, and just have certainty about it. But we're really pleased with a lot of the work going on at the set piece time, for example. Like scrum's going well, the line-out's going well. We've been disrupting a lot of their ball and really been putting ourselves in some quite good positions. So we've just got to get an 80-minute performance in that place.
Are you hopeful that it will be 15 on 15? Doesn't seem like there's many games that are at the moment.
No, look, it's well documented that they're dominating the game. It's not helping the spectacle. I understand the reasons, but probably needs a decent debate.
What do you want to see from the officials this week in particular?
Well, they just do their job. It's the same as usual. A little bit more accuracy on the bench when it comes to leading players on, but.
How important has leadership been this week, and your senior leadership group? How big is their role been this week?
Well, it's kind of no bigger than any other week, Ollie, but it's different. They hurt, and they've got high standards, and so as a collective we work hard on that. And so each week it's about finding the right sort of leadership trigger points, I guess, to hit with a team to get them where they got. But again, it's a very determined group, and if our standards aren't at the level that we wanted them to be, then we work hard to get them there. So again, it's early in the season, but we've been delivered this one occasion that's pretty special. So it's a great chance for us to, I guess, really test ourselves in this sort of environment, and they've been a big part of getting this team ready.
Obviously, you say there needs to be a debate about current officialdom. No one's going to disagree with you. How much
That'd be a change, wouldn't it?
How much urgency would you like to see applied around that? How quickly does this need to happen, do you feel?
Well, it's certainly happening behind the scenes, and it's and you know it's getting that balance between you get the player welfare side of it, and that argument's strong. Then you get the fan centric side of it, and that argument's strong, and then you get the people who are actually playing the game, who prepare all week to play a game, and then suddenly that gets disrupted. But so what can we take responsibility for? Well, it's our technique, our discipline, and we've got to be strong on that. But I think there is a wider discussion about where the game's going, and do we want to keep seeing contests that are a little bit lopsided in numbers? And I think the answer, everyone says no to that. So I think we've got to find a way.
And you've been in this team for the best part of a decade. In terms of this sense of occasion, could you liken it to other big tests you've been in?
Yeah, I think last week I gave an analogy of an unfortunate similarities with the Lions series in 2017, and it kind of feels like that to a certain degree, because whilst there perhaps wasn't the big build-up in this country, that there was before the Lions, I think now that people have seen the Irish team play, they know that they're a quality team, and to win well in the first test and to get a red card in the second test, there's some unfortunate similarities with that series, and it all came on the line in the third, and in a lot of ways this is unfortunately what the game of rugby needs. If you look at the Aussie-England thing, it's exactly the same, and it's we've got a lot of evenness at the top of the tree, I guess, in the game, and these are the series that I think we want to be part of, and so it's exciting for us, and a lot of that's largely the lot of respect that Ireland's gained, I think, with our public, with the way they've played. We've known that already, and can't wait for the final contest.
With regard to the two games, Māori against Ireland, what Māori players impressed you to the point where they could possibly make it into the All Blacks in 2022?
Good question. It's our last game for our current third selector with Foxy, and it's going to be a big occasion for him, and he's contributed so much in that space and will be missed. But we've got a new selector coming in with Joe Smith, so can have a bit of a yak with him tomorrow and have a start thinking about that next group. So I'll probably leave that question to selection time. But look, the answer to your question, they were two great occasions, weren't they? And I think the Māori All Blacks played really, really well. I think they surprised them early in that first game with their intensity in that first half. Ireland came back second half and showed how good they can be, and they perhaps carried that on Tuesday night. So, but it was great for us to see some other players on that sort of stage, and no doubt there was a couple that put their hand up.